Good evening, friends. Thank you for joining Candid Media every evening to follow what's happening in India and abroad. And thank you for sending me your useful comments and suggestions. If you believe in this channel, hit the like button, share with friends, and spread the message. Our only mission is to bring you the truth and both sides of the story. Thank you for your support. Today, Saffron Tiger joins us on. This is not a Saturday. I mean, we were able to get him, in the middle of the week. Thank you, Saffron, for joining us.
Namaskar, Meena ji, and namaskar to all our viewers. It is again my proud privilege to join you all. And yes, due to some last minute changes in the schedule, we've been coming like this. Instead of Saturday, we are showing up on a Monday. But showing up is important, and talking about those issues is important. So that's why I'm here yet again another time for this wonderful, splendid candid session with Meena ji.
Yeah. So before we start, I just wanted to show the viewers two of the cartoons that we have done this week. One second, just let me remove this. There's another one. One second, just give me a few minutes. Just have to continue to talk. I'll just load this.
Yeah. So, Meena ji, we always we don't plan about things, but we always discuss about the critical issues right before the live session. And as you all know, that we always tend towards facilitating rather than a planned one. There are certain important issues that we need to talk about. I think. Not only about what's happening in the government, but also I would like to talk about this boycott Bollywood issue. Now Amir Khan's movie has come into theaters, and all the left lobbyists and some wolves in sheep's clothing in the BJP have also started vouching for Amir Khan. I'm not sure if any of you are on Twitter, but for those people who are and who have been following Meenaji, you can see the very guests that used to come on Meenaji's channel have been promoting Amir Khan and posted a picture with Amir Khan. And Meenaji did not shy away from calling her out on her hypocrisy. So that is one reason, why I think that we should all support Meenaji and her channel, because whatever is right, and whatever is wrong. We
Yeah.
don't tend to live into the gray areas. It is either black or white. So either you are on our side of seeking justice, or you are the wolves in the sheep's clothing.
Yeah.
So that's all I
Yeah.
have to say.
So let me just, yeah, thank you, Saffron, for that. Let me just add these cartoons, Toon Tales. So here, who this lady is in white. So she's saying, Partho, ye Kama Sutra ka time nahi hai. Chalo, Delhi chalo. So you can understand who are these characters. So I just wanted to show the people what's happening
That
in
is
West Bengal, you know. And then you have
amazing
another
cartoon
one.
you have made.
Yeah. And then you have another one. So you have the voices coming. So the main character, the one in green, says her belly is mine, my baby. You know. So on the other side, it's Butt's fake belly and cost for it, and it's like bye bye baby. The other faceless lady says bye bye baby. So this is just to put a doubt in your mind about what's happening, in Bollywood. Is what they show real, or a fake? So just like fake news and fake Bollywood characters, there are also now fake babies and fake baby bumps. So this is just to illustrate that. Yeah. So this was the tweet that I wanted to talk to you about. So it was from Khushbu saying, always a pleasure to meet you, Amir Khan. Thank you for, this blah, 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 and Lal Singh Chadda. And congratulations, to the entire team. Now here, what I'd written was, Khushbu, that does not change one bit the boycott Bollywood movement. Learn to feel the pulse of the public as a politician. Don't let your earlier career decide things. Okay, so she got pretty annoyed about that. And she said, unfortunately, you were either handling the dealings or was a party to it. Know the facts. Grow up, Meenaji. Your attitude is an insult to our honorable Prime Minister, who's been working hard, given his everything for the nation, and dreams of keeping it intact. So I said, first of all, see, I'm not doing any dealings. Okay, I'm giving you proof as a journalist. And I showed them pictures of, him with Junaid Jamshed and the terrorist. And then I also gave a link of his wife saying that she wants to run out of India because she's so scared, And also the fact that today Sandeep Singh has, there's a video showing Amir Khan with Sandeep Singh and party, seeing the first show of the movie. And also, see, I said as a patriot, I prefer, I look up to I care for my country. PMs will come and go, it's our country that we have to care for. So these were some of the things that I wanted to highlight, Saffron, because it's very obvious that these people have their two legs on two different boats. Now, when this Twitter got even more challenging, she said that, see, she started saying things, and I said that, see, of course, you've got your interests because your husband is a producer. So immediately she said, oh, you're dragging my husband in. I am a producer, not him. So what we did was we gave a shot of the Wikipedia, which says that he's a producer, a director, and an actor. See, now, one thing, viewers, we must all know is that BJP is making the mistake of taking, actors from small screen and big screen, not knowing too much about their backgrounds. So what happens is they come in gaudy clothes and they, throw their melodrama and get into situations they can't wriggle out of. They lie, and then to cover up those lies, they get all the other BJP people involved, and then finally what happens is they piggyback on the backs of eminent, veteran politicians like Modi and Nadda and Amit Shah. So what happens is people think they are good. What happens is we didn't vote for them. They came as a package because the BJP decided that they will be our ambassadors, but they aren't. You see, so now BJP has to decide that when they select people, let them not select anybody from society. They have to be very clear. For example, that there is one Anna Malay or there is one Tejasvi Surya. We need people like that who are walking the talk, or Yogi Ji or Himanta Basu. So what's important is that we don't need people like this who tell us that Amir Khan is the best thing that has happened to India. Amir Khan very clearly said that Narendra Modi is responsible for the death of those people in the Godha carnage. Okay, and he very clearly said that. Then he said that he's been abusing India left and right. So why should we see his movie? You mean to say we should pay and tell him to continue to insult us? Okay, and now he has gone on board telling everybody that, I have been insulting, that is why people are boycotting me, thinking that the negative way will also help him. Your thoughts, Saffron?
So, Minaji, I agree with everything that you have said. Many people ask me that, who are, I would say, very mildly put, either moderate views, or maybe like from the left lobby, because I do have people who are close to me, and they do not share the same ideology that I do. So they come to me and they question me that, you guys do your campaign against Bollywood, but then you forget the fact that people from your own government, like Narendra Modi and Yogi Adityanath, have publicly met these actors and have clicked pictures, and those have been like published on Twitter. So to these allegations, my response is that, being a politician, it is okay to and this, I might get some hatred for this, but I will certainly say this: it is okay to make some public appearances in order to garner votes of masses, because as much as we hate to say this, these people do have a following, unfortunately, at this point, and they have been having a following for a long time, although now people have started seeing through their shenanigans in masses, but they still do have some following. So garnering their attention to get support is one thing, but promoting their movies is another thing. So if today Miss Khushbu is saying to you that you are insulting Prime Minister Modi, I don't think Prime Minister Modi's insult is anywhere related to the
The
politics,
issue.
right? Narendra Modi or Yogi Adityanath did not post a picture with Amir Khan or with Akshay Kumar around their movies, around their movie time, saying that, oh, we are going to watch your movie or something along those lines, right? Uh, See, there is one thing which I will clearly say. Uh, for better or for worse, these people from the cabal are living in India, right?
Yeah,
So Modi is their leader, right?
yeah,
And Modi has to treat everyone as a citizen of India, but he is aware of their shenanigans. So if somebody is posting picture with Modi, if somebody from Bollywood circle is posting picture with Modi, that is a separate event. And if people from BJP government are promoting Amir Khan or Akshay Kumar, that is a separate event. Those are two completely different things. Once the government had organized. I think it was around, like, 150 years of cinema had completed when Modi had uh, brought along everyone together, right? So that was a separate event. And वो कहते हैं ना कि किसी को हिंदी में देयर इज अ सेइंग कि किसी को सबक सिखाने से पहले उसे वार्न किया जाता है, उसे
mm,
सुधारने
mm,
की कोशिश की जाती है, राइट?
mm,
देयर वर सो मेनी पीपल इन दिस कैंपेन दैन we tried to question them sinfully before we started uh, aggressively questioning them, right? Or even attacking them, so to speak, right? So this is exactly how it is panning out. So I don't think that, like, people from the BJP government who are like promoting Amir Khan or Akshay Kumar or anyone else for that matter, that cannot be equated to Yogi Adityanath posting, like having a picture clicked with Akshay Kumar, or Modi getting a picture clicked with these Bollywoodians, right? Those are two completely separate events. There is absolutely no analogy. But yes, going forward, BJP should have a very, uh, I would say, a very cognizant approach towards how they are going to get support of people, because they are really walking on a very tight rope here. And
yeah,
people are seeing through these things that Bollywood is not in the interest of Sanatan Dharma, not in the interest of the idea of Hinduism. So that's there to it.
yeah. And another issue that I thought we could discuss, Saffron, is how China has its hands, in our film industry. See, for example, there's a lot of news floating around where Bahubali, the biggest blockbuster ever made in India, whose record even KGF 2 or SS Rajmouli's own RRR couldn't beat, made only 80 crores in China, while a certain film with a small 15 crore budget, was watched by very few in India, made 1,000 crores in China. Okay, we're talking about Amir Khan's movie. Was it made with the sole purpose of bringing in money from China? How did China thwart India's plans? Now, see, there are many things that China has a hand in. See, for example, Apple wanted to establish iPhone manufacturing in India as China was getting very belligerent and dictating to US companies. They were stealing Apple technology and giving it cheaply to Chinese products like Xiaomi or OnePlus. So they set up a manufacturing unit in Karnataka, in Kolar. Now, what happens next? There is a huge labor protest over a trivial issue of idli not available in canteen, and they create a riot and burn the manufacturing plant and steal millions worth of Apple phones. Apple suffers huge backlash, saying their factory conditions are bad in India. Who leads these riots in Kolar? Local communist worker union leaders and local Congress leaders. What happens next? China posts a big advertisement in Global Times that China manufacturing is always the best and companies should not go to places which can't assuage any safety. This is how they thwart any sort of manufacturing move to India, as they know all they have to do is bribe some local goons who will destroy anything. We have communists, environmentalists, NGOs, politicians, media, my lords, everyone who can do that job for them if they are paid well. All of them come together and stop Sterlite Copper, India's biggest copper manufacturing factory. And who benefited? It was China. So there's a very, very big, issue here. And at that time, people actually, Saffron, people actually thought that Chinese liked his movie.
Yes, I remember that time when there was like news in the movie, like newspapers and all the media outlets were saying that like over 2,000 crores, 2,500 crores has been earned by Dangal in China. I think it's a very. Does it not surprise you that why is Chinese government or the public of China is only interested in watching movies of certain people, right? So there is clearly more to it than what meets the eyes. Absolutely, a very I would say a central or impactful angle of financial crimes cannot be denied here. Also, I feel like somewhat these numbers are being inflated just to show that how popular it is. So how is it being accepted outside of India? So people in the other countries like in the subcontinent should accept this movie, and it's all about perception management, Meenaji, is what I feel. Because the more the masses watch it, the more they get they perceive these people in a separate in a different way. And that's how little things get implanted, and we tend to ignore. I wouldn't say little things, those are some big things they have shown in the movie, where gods are being mocked upon, they are being peed upon. I mean, it's absolutely ludicrous of Amir Khan to normalize all these things. And most of the people who are supporting him are the deracinated Hindus. I just don't get it. Why, how deracinated, how cut off from our roots have we become? That, and regardless of faith, even Christians and Muslims, of people of different faiths, I have come across, I know so many people who are not Hindus, but they are well in sync with the idea of Hinduism. They know what Hinduism stands for. They know what Sanatan Dharma stands for better than the deracinated Hindus, so-called Hindus. Some of them are even in our families or even in our first cousins. If we try to identify, I'm sure there will be
Yeah,
many people.
absolutely,
Yeah,
absolutely.
there will be many people you will find who will think that it's cool to watch
In fact,
Bollywood.
yeah, see, that's a very big problem that we face.
Absolutely, absolutely. And what is the root cause of this problem? What is the crux of it? It is all stemmed from an idea of feeling ashamed of your culture, ashamed of your habits, your rituals, your way of living, your way of thinking, your the food that you eat, the clothes that you wear, the color that you have, right? Your skin color. You are being told from a long time that anything that is fair is beautiful. Anything that is wheatish is average, or black is not considered to be beautiful. So that's how these things are been happening. But yeah, coming back to the point, China's interference here, be it with involvement of portraying Dangal as larger than life movie, or they have always dictated the mandates even for the US companies. Having lived here for over a decade, I have seen that a lot of raw material is manufactured in China because of the labor and the strenuous conditions under which Chinese government has these laws and make their workers work. They are given a lot of money, but they are not allowed to buy flats there. Why are they not allowed to buy the flat? Nobody talks about this. No, a Chinese cannot own a house in China, right? So why is this, why are there so many eyebrows raised when some law is formulated or enacted in India, but nothing is talked about China. There is no and let alone China, even when other countries in the West they are doing something, it's not talked about. And Jai Shankar ji had placed a very good comment when he had been to Europe. He said that the world needs to get out of this mindset that the problems of the West are problems of the world, but the world's problems are not problems of the West. So that is one of the very simply but honestly put opinion that needs to be taken into serious consideration. As far as the things with Apple is concerned, and all that fiasco that you just mentioned about, absolutely, there is a communist lobby which wanted to make it happen, and which made sure that, Narendra Modi government does not get credit of Apple moving its manufacturing units to India and shutting all of their operations in China. Well, honestly, to be saying this, it's a big move. I think I would also say that a lot of work will be needed in India to set up the kind of manufacturing infrastructure, because we need to train our, like you know labor force. We need to have standard procedures, so it's a long way, but at least there was something happening, and that was curbed by this communist lobby. And of course, when you talk about communist lobbies, there is a very interconnected network of some of the parties that are present in India, which have ties with all the Khalistani factions, and then there are other rebellious factions present in Myanmar and Bangladesh, and all these countries, because of India's democracy. India is always under constant pressure of dealing with these external forces, and also the internal forces which have crept in.
Also, viewers must be interested in knowing how it works. How does China fund these four rogues who work for them by money laundering? China is world's biggest money laundering nation. As per conservative estimates, in last 10 years, $1 trillion, that is 78 lakh crores of money, have been laundered from China to various countries in the world. So they're saying, how do they do it? They set up shell companies or tell real companies to create fake invoices and send them money. For example, I have a movie production house. I make a movie and that movie is played in China. Chinese counterpart who distributes that movie will say, Vishnu, your movie is a super hit. It has made 1,000 crores in China. So I'm sending you 250 crores as your share. I get 250 crores, I keep my cut of 50 crores, and then donate to all sorts of sundry NGO and pay bills to all sort of sundry shell companies in India. This money will, sort of reach to people who will then work for China as sleeper cells. You see, so it's the whole procedure is so well what you call oiled. When these sleeper cells are asked to shut down a factory or close a road project, they go and protest. That is how bullet train project, Mumbai Metro, and every good project that will help India gets closed or delayed. Now you might be thinking, so China is spending their money to hurt India. No, they are looting our money and paying back peanuts to us, just like what East India Company did to India.
Yes, nowadays the battles between countries is not only fought with weapons, but there is a at economical level, at strategic level. These countries have these strategies to weaken the financial system of another country, and there is different strategy depending on what country you are dealing with. For example, if you consider about US, so China crippled US by loaning them so much money, and now because China has is doing its muscle flexing in the Asian subcontinent, US tends to put a blind eye on whatever they are doing. Look what is the condition of the Uyghur Muslims, right? People who are from the left lobby. How often you have seen them tweeting against China about the treatment of the Uyghur Muslims, right? How often you have seen people from Pakistan tweeting about it? I'll tell you when. Never it has ever happened that you've seen people from all these factions tweeting about the treatment given to the Uyghur Muslims. How often you are going to see the communist agenda and the policies and the atrocities Chinese government is uh, putting not only on their own people, but they are also the kind of I would say a constant state of unrest around the countries surrounded by China. That is never you are going to see. There is a reason that these China has banned all these social media website, right? Nobody talks about that, right? But they will lose no second to jump on, like whether it is CAA, whether it is article 370 scraping, or whatever it is,
Saffron, I remember, when I had gone for a media trip to, I think it was to Hong Kong, and there were a lot of the Chinese media as well. and they were saying, see, we are not allowed to, serve articles. We're not allowed. The freedom for media is completely not there, and they do things. They get to know the news from outsiders. You see, so can you imagine this kind of environment, living in such an environment? Now, here, Safran, see, my doubt is that Amir Khan is preparing for a similar bout with this movie with China. So somewhere I feel that he's going to do the same thing, and this is going to be another repeat for his Lal Singh Chadha.
It is possible. I would say with the way things have been going, nothing that will happen will surprise me. But I I mean, my thing is that, like, are our agencies onto these things? Uh, are our, like, law enforcement agencies or intelligence agencies taking cognizance of the kind of well knit network this Bollywood cabal has has been able to establish for a long time, with in conjunction with all these anti India forces, very simply put, right? You have, like, Khalistani factions pumping in money to parties in Delhi who are been, like, who've been losing no second to give free dole outs, right? And then you have people from Canada, US, funding to these factions. So there are a lot of moving pieces. When we talk about money laundering, like, money laundering can be done in multiple ways, right? Like, one of the ways that you mentioned was through shell companies. There is also a lot of, like, human trafficking involved, labor exploitation. If you have seen, like, there was, like, around, like, 5 6 years ago, there was this Devyani Khobragade or some IAS or services daughter was in US, who was in news for human trafficking charges, right? So there are, like, a lot of multiple things which not only these countries but people in our country are also party of, like, because they are, like, selling their ideals, their souls, their ethics for the sake of money. And that is one bigger problem, right? To be fighting the enemies within the country, right? Who
Yeah,
are supporting China. Like, look, what are you going to do when people like, Dr. Swami can also say that, like, oh, you know what, I have very good friends in Chinese government. He does a lot of good stuff, but then also that it comes with a lot of questionable stuff, I would
yeah,
say.
absolutely.
And yeah,
Also, Safran, don't forget the fact that, see, what is Quan? Quan, the company that Salman Khan disowned, it has links with China because they opened another company in China. Why would they open another company in China? This is a talent company where they do, contracts with actors to control their career, and other sorts of things. So why would they want a company in China? So you see, there is so much of relationship between money laundering and our own Bollywood actors and their companies. See, it's very clear from the beginning. We know that, see, there is a relation between Kwan and Salman Khan, which he disowned. But if you look at all the people working there, they are all working in his companies. And this was the company that cheated Sushant Singh Rajput.
absolutely.
They had a contract with him, and they were the ones who employed Ria and paid her money.
See,
So
so they
this Chinese link definitely is there with our Bollywood actors. Now, another point, Safran, that Amit says here is that when he made, this movie, it was like making Mughal Azam again. Before finally consenting to hear the script for Lal Singh Chadda, Atul Kulkarni said that Amir first refused to do it, you know. And now he says, according to Amir, the idea of adapting Forrest Gump made him feel that it would be like attempting to recreate Mughal Azam or Mother India. So he was very worried about it, and he asked me to listen to it very enthusiastically. Amir said, "I felt if I listen and don't like it, he would feel bad." Also, film like Forrest Gump, which is such a cult classic, is very difficult to imagine to adapt into another film. That's why I didn't listen to a script for 2 years. How dare you make Forrest me read Forrest Gump? You can't even think of making Forrest Gump again. It's like making Mughal Azam and Mother India. I felt, why should I waste my time listening to something I don't want to make? But when I heard it, I was blown. I felt, yes, he has done it. It was a very moving experience for me. The moment I heard it, I said, I want to do this. Now, here, see, there are so many lies in this itself, Saffron. The fact that, see, to get permission to do a Hollywood movie takes more than 10 years, 10 or 11 years. It took them 9 years. And that's why he waited. Nothing else. Not that he wanted to assess everything. Second thing, as you know, another guest from our show, Kajal Hindustani, very clearly said, is that for all his life, he's been copying Tom Hanks and acting exactly like him. So even he, as an actor, is not original. A copy of a movie that is done. Everything is fake. And of course, you've heard the terrible, terrible story of how Faisal Khan, his brother, was tormented, drugged, and put in a lunatic asylum. His own brother, okay? And also the fact that Sushant Singh died in his uncle's house in Bombay. So everything was engineered by them because you remember Ria made some calls to Amir Khan after the death. Why was she doing it? What was her connection with Amir Khan? So there's a lot of question about Amir Khan's character. Who is he? And why the hell is he going to Turkey? And if he wants to shoot a movie like based on a Sardar, why does he have to shoot it in Turkey? So they're not going for shooting. They're going for other things, which we do not know. You see? And based on all this, you have some stupid actress saying that she stands with him and that even Modi will not, be happy if we accuse him of being a Deshdrahi. Absolutely ridiculous, yes.
Ma'am, the more you think, see, that's what I'm talking in our previous sessions as well. I have spoken about being cognizant of our surroundings, and that is exactly what I mean when I say that knowing about all these links, having an open mind, that you are able to think that okay, Kwan's connection with Salman Khan, and they were the one who employed Ria, and they were like connected to Sushant Singh's murder, and all these things, like why Kwan's presence is in China, what are kind of dealings they are having with the company in China, right? So all of these things are known to few thousands of us who have been like following the campaign, or have been part of the boycott Bollywood campaign. But there are so many people who don't know anything about it, who don't even know what Kwan is. I'm pretty sure there are a lot of people who don't know what Kwan is, you know but yeah, so that's what, like, that's how this Bollywood cabal has been successful in managing the perception of the masses. And that's when you see uh, Prime Minister Modi coming up with an actor, or like, tweeting with an actor. Yes, there is a strategic angle to it, right? He's not gonna tweet with a picture and say that, oh, best of luck for your movie, I'm going to watch it and I thoroughly enjoyed it. These kind of things, which what Miss Khushbu did. He's not going to do those kind of things, right? वो लोग इतने लाइक अवेयर है कि वो आगे के 10 कदम के बारे में सोच के चलते हैं, राइट? You think that they would have been able to do the Ram Mandir or the Article 370 without, like, strategically thinking about what they are going to do? All these surgical strikes that they've been carrying out, it's not possible otherwise. You need to have a mental acumen to fight these forces which have been long prevailing since eons, I would say. Even saying the word decade would be a statement, like, understatement, a gross understatement. All these anti India forces have been present for a long, long time. And that is the reason why Sanatan Dharma has not been able to, completely obliterated from India, because there was a constant struggle with all these anti-India forces. Now there is a different kind of struggle at the economical level, at the media level, where, like, some media channels have been bought out and they try to spin the narrative. But
Yeah.
then also, with the advent of open access of social media, there have been people like yourself and few others who have been doing the good work of keeping that war like, going on, and like, fighting for. Right? So I think that what's important right now is to completely boycott Amir Khan movie, right? That
Yeah,
is a given, right?
yeah,
That everyone should. And
yeah.
also, in this process, all of these wolves are exposing themselves.
Exactly,
So
exactly.
yeah,
Yeah,
it is not going to be easy, especially for someone like you who has to let go of the personal relationships.
yeah,
You've
yeah.
had then done that with Vivek
Mm,
Agnihotri ji in the past, with now with Khushbu ji. So you
mm.
will have to, like, mend, like, you will have to burn a lot of bridges, so to speak. But then that's a very small price.
But when Saffron, when truth stands, you know, many things fall away. Many things fall away. You have to get used to that lonely factor, the fact that you may be completely alone, but you're standing with your principles. That's it. That's the only fact that's important. You see.
Absolutely, absolutely. And
Sujit is saying, I have my doubt about artists going to Maldives as well, not just Turkey or US for that matter. Sujit, I'd like to mention that, see, many of the guests who are very familiar and very close to Bollywood have said that these are sponsored trips by the cabal. Maldives is a place where some people have bungalows, in these hotels. And these are used not only for photo shoots, they are also used for business. And that's why all these women end up there. So, as you said, it's very true. Only thing is, they don't have to go as far as Turkey or US for that. They can go to Maldives, and which is a favorite, locale for all of them. Yes,
so
Saffron, you were saying.
I would like to add to what Sujit has said, that these destinations like Maldives, Mauritius, and Phuket, they are all like a dehumanizing meat market. And that's one of the reasons why you also saw Sandeep Singh getting embroiled in some sort of a case related to carnal pleasure. So
Yes, yes. Mauritius.
yeah, so that's one thing, like, and also I read one comment about, like, Atul Kulkarni, right? So
Mm,
that's, like, it's very good to see, like, morally and socially cognizant people being part of this channel, who are also saying that, like, Atul Kulkarni, I used to
mm,
respect him as an actor.
mm,
And I saw one of his screenshots where he had tweeted, like, he was asking someone, what makes you think that I am a Hindu? So he is himself
mm.
shaming his own identity, right? He
Yeah,
has been
yeah.
completely cut off from his identity.
Mm,
And look, these people, in order to survive and thrive in their line of work, they will make no bones about their shamelessness and their
mm.
apathy. They are going to go against their own identity, right?
Yes,
Look,
yes.
there's this guy, there's this Marathi actor in Kashmir Files
Mm,
who had done role of Shivaji. I think his
mm.
name is Chinmay Mandlekar or something like
Okay.
that, right?
Mm, mm,
So he,
mm,
who has done role of Shivaji, right, who should be proud of his root, his like, he got married to someone and named his children as like, some Muslim names given
mm, mm.
to his children. And that was, like, very shocking for people to see that, like, that what level of, like, uh, illusion they place in the movies, and what kind of people they are in reality. I mean, like, it's okay, like, you can keep your children's names whatever you want, like, nobody should have the right to question it. But then, when you take it one level up and you release movies, shows where Hindu dharma is being attacked, right? Of course we are going to question these things, right?
Yeah,
Of course we
yeah.
are going to question the kind of things you are doing in real life, right? We are going to question it. So
Mm,
that's why being aware is really, like, the need of the hour. You can have whatever name you want, but that does not mean that you are a Hindu. Or you can have a Christian name, but
yeah,
you can still be a very good Sanatani to the core with the values.
yes.
Being Sanatani does not determine by what last name you have. Being Sanatani
Mm,
determines by the level that you think,
yeah,
right?
absolutely.
So these are the things, like, I am really so honored that due to this movement I came in contact with people, awakened people, not only from
Mm,
Sanatan Dharma but from other religions, who
yeah, yeah.
understand how this cabal is connected and well knit, and why there is a need more than ever to destroy and annihilate this cabal and expose them in front of the masses.
Yeah. Karthik says to further about the Maldives thing. He says, Sujit, when my sister went to Maldives in April, she said some islands are owned by Gutterwood people and they're strictly off bounds. Imagine what's happening in Maldives. So it's a fact, you know. Yeah, Nanda
Yeah,
says
this was the
LSE
comment that I
Marathi
was
actor
talking about.
Atul also joined anti-Narmada protests with Amir Khan and Medha Patkar. So boycott Bollywood forever. It's absolutely,
Yeah, because he wanted to come into Rang De Basanti, right? So he had to do that.
yes, yes. Absolutely. Then again, going back to the point where you're talking about Ranveer Singh's nude photo shoot controversy. Now, Twinkle Khanna also joins the bandwagon, and she says that she had been the target of an obscenity case and has been objectified like other actresses. Now, she goes on to assure the morally offended that women and the queer community are not concerned by the images, despite the fact that they are not establishing their own fellowship of the naked trust. She said, instead of overexposure, the photograph seems underexposed. You know, so you'll see if you watch these cockroaches or ants. They go in a line. They really don't know what the leader is doing, but since everybody is going behind one, they also go, thinking that there is. But of course, they are intelligent. They do the right things. Bollywood is like this. When someone does an act like Ranveer Singh, they realize that they are being sabotaged. So everybody will join the line, and whether they approve it or don't approve it, they'll talk about their own incidents and try to reinstill the fact that, see, what others are saying about Bollywood is wrong, and these actresses are all proving that. The fact is that, like many people say, Bollywood is a flesh trade organization. If you look at Karan Johar's party, I'm sure, because see, the journalist in me, the antenna goes up. All the women were told, you have like a dress code to wear dresses with gowns with slits as high as possible. Okay. And they came in, and, people like Rashmika, who's not even used to it, she's from the south, from Karnataka. And she was wearing a dress which she was not comfortable with, so every time she was covering herself up. So that itself showed that they had been given instructions to wear that. So you mean to say that, see, if you come for a party and you wear as little as possible, you get roles? Or is it if you are like someone like Meena Kumari or Wahida Rahman, who can act well, and that is more important? Or the more you shed, the more roles you get. So it's very clear that, see, Bollywood stands for exhibition of flesh. There's a trade going on there.
Absolutely, ma'am. And there is no, there is no qualms about it in their minds, because they know that this is what the masses want. You know, they know that, like, people won't be interested in knowing about the values of Sanatan Dharma in the long term. They would be more interested in their short term interest, which is like, sex, drugs, parties, and lifestyle. And that is why you will always see a constant narrative being pushed about, like, how cool it is to follow the Western footsteps and wear a Louis Vuitton bag, like, just like that Mawa does, like, that leader Mawa did recently, when there was a talk of inflation and she hid her Louis Vuitton purse. I would say that these things we know that they are a part of it. Like, what worries me is the way they are pressured. The people who are part of this industry are pressured. When I had started campaigning for the Sushant Singh Rajput justice movement, there were so many people from Bollywood that reached out on the condition of anonymity and said that, like, you are doing good work. Unfortunately, we cannot speak about these issues because we are part of the industry, but I can assure you that, like, you guys have created ripples, like, all the way to the top, to the point that Salman Khan's family had to provide legal notice. Akshay Kumar had to provide legal notice, like, to some of us. So that is the reason, like, why uh, these things need to be talked about. Content like this needs to be spread by leaps and bounds on YouTube. I don't know if there are any other platforms that can be used. Of course, we have, like, Sushant Singh Rajput is very much alive on social media, on Twitter, in our hearts, and on YouTube channels. But there has to be a need to expose these vultures, I would say, and a constant discussion around their activities, the findings that needs to be done. Yes, sometimes it will seem very repetitive, यार कि हाँ हो गया, यही सब चीज़ों के बारे में तो बात कर करके थक गए, agencies are not doing anything. But then the agencies are not going to do anything until you keep putting the pressure, we don't know what's going on there, like, have they been asked to be tight-lipped, have they been compromised? The possibilities are limitless, but we can do what we have in our hands, and that is, like, a constant need to bring out these things on platforms where there can be, like, more visibility, where well informed people can come. They can get affected, even if we are affecting, like, one person per day. That's like, 365 people who will, out of it, like, pass on the word to another 100 people. बूंद बूंद से ही सागर बनता है, तो we will have
So,
to.
Saffron, a lot of people have said that, see, even they were never in social media. But after watching our channels, they're full fledged now in Twitter. They really give back, they understand, they dissect, they share things, okay? And this is also a very important, statement coming from Maya. Maya says Maldives, Seychelles, Mauritius are all bases for these anti-social activities. Even in Thailand, there is a place where even police are afraid to go because of the many murders which can never be checked. Now, here I want to tell you one more thing, friends, is that in YouTube there is a channel that exposes the lives of these models and starlets who are there on Instagram, and they expose themselves. Now we have many in Dubai also, and what they say is that these women are actually high end prostitutes, and these women, sort of market themselves to people like Arabs who have, unusual demands of them, and for because of those unusual demands, they are given the credit cards, gold, platinum cards, to go shopping and buy whatever they want, provided they do these, terrible deeds that they have to do with these men. And when I read some of the things that these women have to do with these men, you couldn't believe it. It's so shocking.
No.
And they come and they pose and they say that, see, they are the best in swimsuits, and you see all these little what you call quickies in these Facebooks and all that, the small videos, and you know that these women are up to this. Is it worth it? You end up with a number of sex oriented diseases.
Oh
you know
God.
I know for a fact that, see, some of the contacts that I have told me that the gynecologists say that these actresses, the top actresses that we're talking about, go there because of these sexually transmitted diseases. They sleep with so many people that their body is full of sexually transmitted disease. You just have to touch them to become sick. So isn't this an industry that has to be thrown out or
No,
vacuum cleaned?
it is very saddening that this is the sorry state of affairs that it has come down to, where we have to really talk about the kind of disgusting acts these people are part of. And regardless, I think this goes for both men and women in the industry, right?
Yes, both.
So unless you are the top, so to speak, A class actor, uh, on the with the likes of, like, Khans or Kumars, or, like, are you're part of the Bollywood film fraternity, and one of the nepo kids, you have to do all these things. So is it really worth it? And that is the message which needs to go down right from right to the grassroots level, I would say, where youngsters would know that, like, at what cost you want fame, you want popularity, but at what cost? Losing your moral existence, a life full of nothingness. What is it that you're looking for, right? So the, this is the message that needs to go along with the what I would say, like, something measurable, like, credible evidences. Just like in Sushant Singh Rajput case, we have talked about a plethora of evidence that suggests that how he was brutally socially outcasted and trapped and eventually killed, right? That's how the network will be for outsiders. Nothing has changed, nothing had changed earlier, nothing changed now, and nothing will change. What can change is our approach on how we expose these people, exactly the sleazy people in Gutterwood, and we need to continue to expose them.
And see, see, and to cover all this up, you have the contractual weddings, as it seems. I would say alleged contract weddings. So where they pick and choose which person should be wed to which person. Because see, for example, when I see this girl from the south, uh, I forget her name, very pretty actress, and she is now going to get married to the Sindhi actor. I forget the name. In case you viewers you know it, please remind us. And you can see when they are together in public, there is absolutely no love. Same as what you would see between Katrina and Vicky, or between Alia and Kapoor. There is no love. Each one looks at the other one in a petrified manner. How much are you going to control me? What all are you going to make me do? These are the kind of things that you can read from their eyes, you know. And you suddenly, a mother who never had any roles, who was busy in kitty parties, gets more roles than even the actresses. So these are things which are shocking, you know.
And I'm pretty sure there are some dealings which are made, backdoor dealings, and like, quid pro quo attitude of, like, I do this for you, you do this for me, I will put you in the films, tell your husband or whatsoever, your paramour or your illicit lover to invest in my films or falana dhimkana. So all this kind of shady stuff does happen in Bollywood. This is not something new. This has been happening for a long time. People have to toe in line or fall by the wayside. So yeah, I mean, yeah, this these kind of things are going to continue to happen. And once we start boycotting Bollywood, these people are going to find different ways to earn money. Most of these people now have started investing into technology sectors, into
Yes,
IT
yes.
firms as well. They have their money. I know of a guy who's very close to Salman Khan, and Salman Khan had called him the very day Narendra Modi had announced demonetization. That abhi kya karna hai करके. And they made a call to someone, and they got their money at 15% rate. This is what was told to me. Now I don't know if that is true or not, but this was one thing that was told to me.
No, that's
So
quite an expose. Yeah.
yeah. So it's kind of like, there are people like this who are also part of such networks, right? So the point is that, like, a constant surveillance on these people is a must, because these people are not going to mend their ways. They never changed in the early 90s. We are like far from 90s now. We are in, like, 30 years now down the line. Do you think that they are going to change? No. And now, with the Hindu Renaissance and people being more aware of their identities, more proud of their roots, coming together across these forces, they are only going to join hands. वो कहते हैं ना कि दुश्मन के दुश्मन को दोस्त बना लो. So they are doing this technique. What do you see, like, why do you think that even against the BJP there was this Mahagathbandhan and all these kind of things happening? For the sole reason, because a party with the ideology of Hindu majority is in the power. That's why you are seeing so many wolves have crept into BJP as well. right?
Yeah.
Because BJP also has to, because the more the BJP the party grows, it is also difficult for them to
Yeah.
keep to ensure
That's
that the
also.
bad
Yeah.
apples are not in the basket. There
Mhm.
are going to be some planted apples, some rotten apples, some sweet apples. So these
Mm.
kind of, like, this is how the leadership is waging a battle within the country as well as on the borders. And that's why I think that there is a constant need of being self-aware, being cognizant of our roots, our values, and also exposing these people by having a constant surveillance. And our audiences are doing a great job, like, every time there is a video or there is some news or some information about Mr. Dabang or any Canadian Kumar or anyone, they do a great job of taking, like, doing a SWOT analysis of the news. So,
Mhm.
which is what we need to continue to do.
Yeah. And also, see, with regards to the Smriti Irani case, you'll be surprised, folks, that the same lady who's been vehemently saying that, see, this they have no absolutely no dealings with this restaurant and bar. Suddenly, everything is out in the open that Zubin Irani, his son and his daughter have shares in it. And this is all completely being exposed by one Nair, a journalist, and they are saying that now they are going to approach the court again to bring this forward. So I don't know why then she was, because Gaurav very clearly also said on our show that Zubin Irani is part owner. Then why didn't Smriti say that it was their family company? You know, so he said no, she's not technically. Now see, anything that my husband owns is mine. It's just like Pon Kundra and Shilpa getting separated when the case came, and then uniting when the case was out. You know, so it's that's how shallow these people are. They're not bothered about anything that lying has become a part of their game. You
And
you
speaking
know,
of Pon Pundra, is he out on bail?
who?
Pon Pundra, or
Who?
is he in jail?
No, he's out, and he's making a
He's out.
movie. Like in within 18 hours, he made a movie on what he underwent at jail.
I hope there is no pawn in that.
Yeah, you don't know because 18 hours.
Oh God.
Yeah. Another piece of news is that the jail has, with regards to Wazi, the Taloja Jail Authority, where dismissed policeman Sachin Wazi is lodged, has said that there is a threat to his life after he turned an approver in the case and hence can be brought to court only when necessary. The jail has stated this in response to his application before a national investigation agency. He had sought that he be brought to court regularly for proceedings as there are connectivity issues when he is produced through video conference and he is unable to understand the happenings. Wazi had further said that he is facing numerous charges resulting in various proceedings, and a short meeting of 10 minutes with his lawyer in prison is not sufficient. Apart from the case concerning the bomb threat near industrialist Ambani's residence Antilia and murder of auto parts dealer Mansukh Hiren, he is also accused of the custodial death case and a money laundering case where former State Home Minister Anil Deshmukh is a co-accused. So this is another piece of news.
But the news does not mention who is threatening him. Like,
Yeah,
who
yeah,
is he afraid of? Is he afraid of baby penguin? The
yeah.
news should also mention who is
Mhm.
trying to kill Vaze.
Yeah, exactly, exactly,
Certainly not anybody from the BJP government. They would
exactly.
love Vaze
Yeah,
to come out in the court and
yeah.
say all the things and all the shenanigans that he was part of. But then the news is omitting the critical piece of information. Who is he scared of? Right?
Obviously, it should be Penguin because the father is trying his best to rescue his son, you know,
Exactly.
and there's something very wrong. For example, recently there was news that he wanted to give land to Tirupati temple to be built in Mumbai, knowing that that is the biggest temple that makes money. You know, it's the richest temple. So obviously he wants to put his hands in that as well. It seems like that. You know, terrible guy, and perhaps even that land is owned by somebody else.
Absolutely. I think there is a question by Uma Shankariji. She's saying, "Could you please tell me who is Baby Penguin?" She doesn't know who is Baby Penguin.
I think
I
the
think you
the
should Google.
viewers will let her know.
Yeah. Anyway, but ma'am, it's been a great pleasure talking to you,
Yeah,
and it's been like 1 hour flew away
yeah.
talking to you,
Goes
and
off
like
very
just
fast. Yeah.
yeah, 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 absolutely. And I'm glad that we were able to make this happen in a week,
Thank you
get it
so
in a
much.
week.
And we'll see you next week. Good night.
Absolutely. Good night to all our viewers, and until next time, Jai Hind.